Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over some new news we have for Lost Ark. The main bit of that being that the April patch will be on April 21st, and this will be the patch that gives us the Glaivier and South Vern. And then on the weekly resets on April 14th, we will also be getting a new week of a log and rewards that last from April 14th to April 21st. And this will just be common rewards we would normally be getting from login rewards. And then this should cycle over to a full new month of login rewards on the 21st, which will also be the patch with the Glaivier and South Vern. And that's pretty much all the new news we have for the game. But I did want to give some of my thoughts on the speed at which Lost Ark is being updated and just some general stuff around that. So first off, even though they did not say the April update would be on the 14th, I think it absolutely should have been released on the 14th. I think that would have been much better timing. I think a lot of players are not playing the game right now because there's not a lot of stuff to do. Content is not being released very quickly, and they extended the Grand Prix event, which would have been pretty much just perfect PR to go along with the Glaivier being released, so people can get all those resources for a week on their Glaivier to help boost that up. And it would have been generally a pretty well-timed patch, but we are getting it the week after, and it seems that the Grand Prix event will not be extended for an additional week to be used on the Glaivier, and we don't know of anything else we're getting with this patch besides the Glaivier and South Vern, so I think this patch is generally going to be a week late. And before I go any further, I want to just make it clear that this isn't just Amazon's fault that we don't have this patch on the 14th. In fact, I think it's more of Smilegate RPG's fault that we're not getting content that quickly, because Amazon is just publishing the game. They don't have a development team to make new content or be able to add any content whenever they want it added. They have to wait for Smilegate to make those decisions and send them over a patch to release to our version of the game. They can't just create these patches out of thin air and give them to us when we want. So it is both Amazon and Smilegate's fault, but I would say more of the fault lies with Smilegate. Because I think also a lot of people have this idea that this is a situation similar to something like EA owning DICE, so they can tell DICE when to release Battlefield even if it's not finished, and that they have complete control over that company. Amazon Publishing does not have that type of control over Smilegate RPG in the game. Smilegate RPG has more control in this situation than Amazon does. And I think in the Western version of Lost Ark, there's an issue with content not being released quick enough. And that was a big chunk of the hype that was created for the Western version of Lost Ark, is that there was years of content already made, so we would consistently get new content and have much more regular content updates than pretty much any other new MMO could possibly give you. Especially off of the back of New World, that was one of the most content-light MMOs I've seen in years. This was supposed to be one of the big selling features of Lost Ark for the Western version. And I don't think we are getting content quick enough at all for that hype to be realized. And it seems to me Smilegate and Amazon have gotten scared after the initial backlash of releasing Argos a little bit too early, and everybody on the forums and Reddit complaining about it. So now it seems they're trying to slow down content releases, which I think is hurting the game much more than releasing a raid slightly too early. Because I think a lot of people are getting burnt out from the game because there's not a lot to do, and a lot of people aren't playing. And I'm not talking about just all the bots and RMTers that have been banned. I think a lot of normal players that want to play the game have stopped playing because there's just nothing to do. Content just is not being released quick enough. I don't think we should be going over 2 weeks without a new content patch. There's not really a big reason for it. Even if some people on the forums are going to complain because they can't do this new content the first week, and I think that's pretty worth to give people a lot of content to have some people complain that they can't do it right when it's released. I think having too much content to do is the best problem you can possibly have in an MMO. And by a new content patch every 2 weeks, I mean actually some new content. I don't think that just a new event that gives us an additional way to get resources is going to cut it as new content, unless it's actually a new event with new content and activities to do. I think that 2 weeks into the month, we should be getting maybe a smaller content update, and then the last week of that month, we should be getting the bigger content updates that are, say, new classes or new raids or something like that. Because our version of Lost Ark has went from all of these content creators and players that have played it in other regions telling everybody about all this cool content that the game's constantly updated, constantly has new content coming out, and everybody expecting very frequent content updates, to pretty much everybody unanimously saying that the game is not being updated frequently enough, and we're essentially in a content drought in a game with 2+ years of additional content that isn't released for us. And this isn't even to mention that the game has been out for over 2 months in the West, and we have only gotten one new skin added into the game since then. I don't understand why there isn't a new skin being cycled, at least in the shop, every single week. It really doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense from a monetization standpoint. Why wouldn't they want people buying new skins constantly? Pretty much everybody that was going to buy the Omen skin probably bought it the first week or two that it was out and would be ready for a new skin to be released that a lot of people would most likely buy. And that's just another way that I think the updates for the game have not been coming fast enough. And they really need to start releasing content much quicker, not only just because the players want it, but because it is still a very competitive market in the MMO genre. There's a pretty big new Final Fantasy update not too far off. Guild Wars 2 just had an expansion not too long ago that's also garnering a lot of new players. A new World of Warcraft expansion is being revealed soon. Most likely, a new World of Warcraft Classic expansion is also being revealed, and that's not to mention some of the other MMOs that are getting updates or even full releases sometime in this year. So if the updates continue to be this slow, I could very much see the player base having steady drop-offs because of the content not coming quick enough. But that's pretty much all I want to go over in this video. I hope they start releasing content and content updates much more frequently. Like I mentioned, I think we should be getting new content every 2 weeks at a minimum, and I think new skins should probably being released every week, or at least a different skin being cycled in the shop every week. So subscribe if you want to see more Lost Ark or other MMO videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. If you comment down below what you guys think about the timing of the update and the speed of new content for Lost Ark in general. And thanks for watching.